So, hi class, no? For today, I'll be discussing about your performance task for the third quarter. So, ito yung unang performance task nyo for this semester. For the Contemporary Philippine Arts for the region, HUM102 subject. So, it is art appreciation and criticism, an individual or by pair na activity. So, our goals ideally is to define the visual arts, identify artworks by Filipino artists. Artworks can range from paintings, sculptures, songs, films, video art, installation art, no, performance art, um, body art, and to name some, no. Then describe, analyze, and interpret the said artwork that you'll be choosing to critique. Because ideally, itong task nito is simply known as art critic. So, samples of artwork, again, pwedeng food art, no? Pwede food art, pwedeng any forms of art, no? Makeup, even can be considered performance art, dance, and music. Hindi na lang yung traditional art form na alam natin. So, any art work or work of art that you deemed as something that can be as an artwork, at the same time can be critical about it, created by a Filipino artist, pwede nating gamitin dito sa ating art critic. Yan, illusory art or illusion art, painting, mural, or even yung tawag ng street art, graffiti, ganyan. So the idea for this art appreciation and criticism or art critic task is si Feldman, meron tayong tinatawag na Feldman method, which includes 4 essential tasks. However, for the purpose of this art critic, 3 specific aspects lamang or task yung ating ifo-focus. So first part is the description. What is the subject matter? Followed by interpretation, what is the content of that specific subject matter, and judgment. How successful is the artist in um, portraying, no? What's the specific context that it wants to portray. At the same time, ano yung naramdaman nyo? How will you judge, no? Based on your values, yung art critic na or art na pinili nyo for this critic. In terms of description, ito yung lalamanin ng inyong art critic. Recognizable subject matter. So it describes the various recognizable objects in the work. Or if, no, non-representation art, let's list the things that are used to create this image, line, color, shape, etc. Even the technical qualities, materials used, either 2D ba yan or 3-dimensional, you are to list down. Okay? Kung painting yan, gamitin nyo yung mga um, ilista nyo yung mga specific materials na ginamit, ano yung mga objects na nakikita nyo, kung yan ay song, ano tungkol saan yung kanta, sino yung gumawa, ano yung genre niya, okay? Even for dance, ano yung genre niya, even for film, ano yung genre niya, sino yung mga characters, okay, ganyan, ano yung rhythm niya, okay, ano yung fina-follow niya na beat, and kung food art niyan, ano yung ingredients, no? Ano yung ginamit to create the food art. So, when it comes to description, you'll basically describe, no? Ano yung mga ginamit, ano yung nakikita, ano yung recognizable, at ano yung non-representational, or ano yung materials na ginamit to create that particular artwork. So, example nito, itong isang example as created by a former student of HUM102, in which he critiques the uh, film Hintayan ng Langit. Okay? So, he In terms of description, okay, although limited lang sa part na ito, ipopost ko naman sa Blackboard yung kabuuan ng kanyang sample, itong sample na artwork nito. But makikita nyo, sample niya, nilagay niya yung sino yung director at sino yung mga bida. Okay? Mga bida na naging focus nung film. That is how you describe an artwork. So, ano yung content niya, no? Ano yung mga bagay na nagde-describe dun sa artwork na gusto nyo i-critique. Then, interpretation. So, the meaning beyond the subject matter, establishing the broader context of the artwork. So, nagsimula tayo sa pagde-describe ko ano yung nakikita natin. We'll follow it by trying to focus on the main idea and the overall meaning of the work. Ano nga ba yung gustong iparating? Kabuang tema nitong artwork na ginawa ko sa interpretation part. So, the interpretative statement that needs to be answered is, can I express what I think the artwork is about in one sentence? No? Then the evidences. What evidences inside or outside the artwork supports this particular interpretation? So, aside from what you have read, no, or napanood that serves as an interpretation of the artwork, you will, on your own words, try to interpret what it tries to portray, what it tries to say to you. Ano yung pagkakaintindi mo sa kabuuan ng artwork, sa kabuuan ng kanta, kabuuan ng palabas, kabuuan ng pagkain, kabuuan ng specific work of art na gusto mong i-critique. Tries to answer, no? Typically, it tries to answer what is the artwork about, what is it intending to communicate, what statement is the artist putting forward through the artwork, are there any objects within the artistic frame that symbolize something, and what are these? And lastly, what is the meaning of the artwork? Take note, interpretation from your point of view, lahat ng ito. So, sample, again, so, sabi nung gumawa, no, the focus is on the notion of you regretting something. Okay? The idea, siguro kung napanood niyo na, or kung hindi man, interpretation, no, of the film or any artwork, it always starts with you trying to lay down the main focus, main theme of the artwork. Doon lagi nagsisimula. At pag naisulat mo na yon, dito ka na mag-iisa-isa ng bawat questions na ito in order to fully expound your interpretation of the artwork. Then, yung last part is the judgment. Is it about formal elements only? So, ano yung parang final say mo, okay, dun sa artwork or artwork na iyong kinikritik? Is it meant to evoke emotion? Or is it meant to deliver a specific message? Either of the three or all three, pwede nyong masagot dito. Primarily, when it comes to providing the judgment part of an art critic, is it a good artwork? Yun yung unang tanong eh. Maganda ba ito? Does the work have an intrinsic value or worth? What is the value you find in this artwork? Ano yung napala mo dito? May halaga ba ito? Do you think that the artwork is a benefit for others? Do you find that the work or artwork communicates an idea, feeling, or principle that would have value for others? So, kung ikaw, tingin mo may napala ka dito, yung ibang tao ba, meron ding mapapala pag nakita nila ito, nabasa nila ito, napakinggan nila ito, napanood nila ito. Rather than seeing the artwork as being very effective or without total value, does the work fall somewhere in between? Do you think that the work is just okay? What do you base this opinion on? The use of elements of art, lack of personal expression, the work lacks a major focus. You'll try to judge, huhusgahan nyo kung goods ba ito, kung maganda ba ito, kung worth seeing ba ito. At i-share nyo yung basihan ng judgment nyo. para sa mga taong gustong para sa mga taong makakabasa ng inyong piece at malaman kung worth ba na subukan tignan itong artwork na ito, puntahan tong lugar na ito. Take note, even places can be part of art critic, no? Halimbawa, mga tourist attraction to some extent, films, ganyan, kung pwede mong panoodin ulit, songs, dance, performance art, mural, graffiti, statues, so on and so forth. What's clear, no, when it comes to making this task is piliin nyo yung artwork na tingin nyo, alam nyo na. Kung yan ay film, yung isa sa mga paborito yung film, na tingin nyo ay kakritik-kritik. Kung yan ay song, piliin nyo yung pinakagusto nyong song. Kung meron na kayong nakita before na tumatak sa inyo na painting, yun ang piliin nyo. Okay? Mas madali kasi pag meron na tayong malalim na pagtingin dun sa isang bagay. Lalo kung halimbawa yan ay pelikula, kanta, dance, so on and so forth. Mga modern types of artwork. Lalo sa film, no? Kasi pag tumatak na sa atin, mas madali tayo makapag-interpret. At the same time, mas madali tayo makapagbigay ng judgment. Ang kakailanganin na lang natin ay yung description part. Sa description part, you can use internet sources. Okay? Wala nang problema sa akin doon. As long as you properly cite them. So, you cite the sources kung saan nyo kinuha yung mga details ng specific na art na aspects ng artwork na ginagawa nyo. So, for more questions, feel free to message me via MS Teams regarding this task. Again, it's an individual or paired activity. Kung di rin kakamali, ang target na submission natin for the first draft is by week 8. So, kung week 4 na ngayon, that's by first week ng March. First week ng March, o second week ng March, we aim na meron na kayong draft na maipasa. Not necessarily na kumpleto na, but at least makita ko na yung inyong plano for this performance task. With that, thank you.